Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. It's your girl Little Latina coming at you with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be telling you the 5 habits that are keeping you fat and making sure that you're keeping weight on and not allowing you to lose weight. Now these 5 habits you're probably going to realize you do basically every single day, and this consistency of these bad habits is the reason why you might not be able to lose weight, or you find that you struggle when you try to lose weight and it's just like everything you're doing isn't working. So these 5 habits are going to be relatively easy to quit doing, and once you quit doing it you will see very noticeable results in quite a short period of time. And I personally have implemented all of these things into my life, so I can definitely say from personal experience that these 5 habits were definitely making sure that I was keeping on belly fat and keeping on stomach fat that I really didn't want. But with that being said, before we get started, if you enjoy this type of content or if you learned anything new by the end of this video, don't be shy and go ahead and leave a like, comment, or subscribe. I would appreciate it, and it would help boost this video in the algorithm so other people will have the opportunity to see this video and possibly learn something new as well. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get right on to the video. So the first habit that you're probably indulging in quite a little bit too much is eating a lot of gluten. Now gluten is a substance present in grains, especially in wheat. It's a mixture of 2 proteins, glutenin and gliadin. Now the protein gliadin is actually quite bad for you. It has been found to have the same mental effects as opium on the brain, which you may or may not know is a highly addictive substance. So if you're eating food that triggers that element in your brain that makes you addicted, you're quite obviously going to be having cravings for that food and most likely eating that food on a regular basis. Because I know when I was constantly eating things made with gluten, I was eating it all the time. So I'd have like waffles for breakfast, then a sandwich for lunch, and then I would have some cake for dessert. So I was basically eating a bunch of gluten all the time. Furthermore, gluten is very nutrient dense and contains a lot of empty calories, which is basically just a fancy way of saying a food that has a lot of calories but has absolutely no nutrients inside of it. So when I say empty calories, that's what I mean when I say that. It's also a nutrient absorber, so it inhibits your gut from actually intaking nutrients from any other food you're eating. So if you're eating a piece of bread with a salad on the side, for example, since you're eating the gluten, it's going to inhibit the intake of the nutrients from the leaves and everything in the actual salad. So bread is definitely not a good thing to be eating. Basically anything with gluten is not good, especially if you're trying to intake nutrients and actually get the vitamins and minerals from the food that you're eating. And the indigestible fiates in gluten, which by the way, fiates cause a lot of bloating. So if you notice that you get really bloated after eating gluten or bread and stuff like that, then that's most likely what's actually causing the bloating. They end up binding to important nutrients inside of your body, and then it does the reverse effect, so it doesn't allow your blood sugar to be at a steady level, which, as you know, having an unhealthy blood sugar level is not very good and will actually increase the risk of obesity and a lot of health problems. So if you can find any way to avoid intaking gluten with consistency, then you'll probably notice that you'll feel a lot better in general. You'll have a lot more energy and you'll be a lot less bloated than you were when you were consistently eating gluten all the time. Now the second habit that you're probably indulging in a little bit too much that's causing you to keep weight on is always sitting down or never exercising. Now movement and exercise are an essential part of life. In order to live a long, healthy life, you need to move, you need to exercise. You can't just sit around all day and just allow your body to become weak and brittle and unhealthy. So moving every day and exercising every day is an extremely important part of living a healthy, good life. And quite obviously, you most likely have noticed that people who are consistently working out, are consistently moving, are going to be a lot thinner and a lot healthier in comparison to people that are always sitting down and never actually exercising. So this is a quite obvious effect of not moving, and I know that not all of us have the ability to go out and exercise every day, but something as simple as walking for 10 minutes a day will drastically help you in more ways than you ever thought possible. So just making sure that you're actually moving and exercising as much as you can is going to make your body so much healthier and will ultimately make you a lot thinner than you are at this very moment, just from something as simple as walking. Alright, now the third bad habit that you're probably really indulging in is having a huge sugar intake. And similarly to gluten, fake and refined sugars contain a whole bunch of empty calories, and it doesn't satiate your appetite at all, and you'll most likely find that you'll be even hungrier than you were before you were eating the sugar about an hour later. So you're most likely going to indulge in sugar again and end up eating more food than you actually really needed. Also, excess sugar consumption can spike your blood sugar levels in an unhealthy way, which, as you know, an unbalanced blood sugar level is very unhealthy and will help increase the risk of obesity and fat gaining, which, as you know, is probably not something that you want if you're watching this video. You're also most likely going to experience mood swings, hangriness, excessive fat holding and gaining, insulin spikes and drops, and worst of all, lead to pre-diabetes or even type 2 diabetes. And if you know anyone in your life who has diabetes, that is definitely not something that you want to experience. And if you know what to do to prevent that from happening, then you should definitely try to implement that into your life. Not to mention that sugar is highly addictive and is deemed the new nicotine by doctors who are studying sugar. So chances are, if you're eating sugar consistently, you're most likely intaking huge amounts of sugar, which ultimately is going to destroy your body, destroy your teeth, and destroy your mind, which is definitely not something you want to do if you want to enjoy your life and not have a kind of semi-miserable life. Now, the fourth habit that you're probably indulging in that is not allowing you to lose weight is that you're not drinking enough water. Now, water is a fundamental key to life. It's basically needed for everything on this earth to function correctly and accordingly. And if you're not intaking the proper amount of water, then your body is going to start to show you the signs of dehydration and what not drinking enough water is going to do. With that being said, dehydration causes a signal malfunction in the brain that makes you think that you're hungry rather than thirsty. Therefore, you're going to be indulging in more food, eating more calories than necessary, and as you know, eating more calories than you need to is what adds on the weight. You're also going to experience gut complications, which are going to result in bloating and an inability to digest food, which, by the way, causes bloating. So if you don't want to be bloated all the time and you don't want to be holding on to stubborn fat, then you probably want to start intaking more water. And not just because of the bloating, but because it's actually extremely healthy for you, will give you more energy, gives you healthier skin, healthier hair, makes you feel better in general. Water is just a life-giving substance that you need to be having every single day, and not just for a few days in a row, but for your entire life. Your body also won't make enough digestive juices if you're not drinking the proper amount of water, which causes your metabolism to slowly start to fail, which is going to make sure that you're gaining weight a lot quicker and easier, because the metabolism is what metabolizes food and allows you to break down food quicker and keep the weight off. So if your metabolism is very jacked up, then you're not going to be able to lose weight quickly, efficiently, or healthily. So you want to make sure that you're intaking water to prevent any type of diseases or bodily mess-ups that you would if you weren't drinking water consistently. Dehydration can also lead to irritable bowel syndrome and constipation, which are also directly linked to bloating. So overall, drinking water can just solve a lot of stomach problems that you're probably experiencing if you're not drinking water all the time. Oh, and by the way, fun fact, drinking 2 glasses of water 30 minutes before a workout actually increases your metabolism by up to 30%, so you're going to find fat loss a lot easier to do if you're drinking water before your workout. So maybe that will give you a little bit more incentive to drink water. And the fifth and final habit that you're most likely engaging in that's not allowing you to lose weight is eating all day and not fasting. Now I want you to think about all the times that you've ate food late at night and what quality of food that you were eating. Because I doubt that if you're eating at 8 to 9 p.m., you're going to be eating something like an apple or carrots or lemon water. You're most likely going to be going for gluten or sugar like a granola bar, chips, ice cream, cookies, something of that nature is most likely what you're going to be eating when you're eating food that late in the night. Also, you're most likely not going to be eating just one of those things. You're probably going to have multiple of those snacks. So if you're eating a granola bar, you're probably going to have 2 or 3 of them. If you're having potato chips, you might have 1 or 2 bowls of potato chips. Combining those things all together is definitely going to help you to gain weight if that is your goal, and not necessarily in a healthy way, because those foods don't give you the healthy fats and proteins that you need to gain weight and muscle correctly and healthily. They're most likely going to be the type of blubbery fats that make you obese and lazy and really tired. If you're doing this consistently, that's definitely going to add up. You know, doing this every once in a while isn't that big of a deal, but when you do it all the time, multiple times during the week, that adds up, and that's going to help keep weight on and keep you feeling very tired and very lazy. Now, one way to avoid this that I have personally implemented into my life is intermittent fasting. You technically don't have to do this, but intermittent fasting just makes it a lot easier to not eat food during the night, especially when you fasted for a very long time. You just don't really have those cravings anymore, and it's actually extremely healthy to not eat food 3 to 4 hours before you go to bed because it'll allow you to sleep better, fall asleep easier, and have higher quality sleep, which therefore will give you more energy for the day, and you're going to be less inclined to stay up during the night because you're going to be very tired since you fell asleep earlier the day before and you had the energy. And so it's just a better combo all around, and intermittent fasting allows you to do that quite easily since I finish fasting about 3 to 4 hours before I actually go to sleep. So by then most of my food has been digested and I'm not really going through all that stress in my body to get all that done. So I'm going to be tired and fall asleep a lot easier when I don't have a stomach full of food. So this is a pretty simple fix. You just have to get used to it and be consistent with it. But if you don't eat food past a certain time, or if you just try not to eat a lot of food during the nighttime, then you're most likely going to find that you will not have near as much stomach fat and won't be gaining as much fat as you were back when you were eating those foods all the time. Now, with that being said though, that is the conclusion of today's video. Hopefully these 5 habits have showed you some things that you might be doing in your own life so you know what to avoid and how to change it in your life so you can start losing weight and gaining muscle a lot quicker and easier than you probably were before. If this video was helpful to you in any way, please do leave a like, comment, or subscribe. But until next time, thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful day.